I'm Steve Els. I'm the CEO, Chief Architect, and Principal Trainer for EA Principles Incorporated. We're located in the United States, near Washington, D.C., where we provide global training and consulting in enterprise architecture and transformation-related areas. So TOGAF is one of our main items. I've been teaching it for 8 years now, and it's getting more and more popular around the world. We're translating it into several languages. In fact, we're considering translating it into Arabic. So we have it in French, in English, of course, and then French, Spanish, Portuguese, Polish, and several other languages en route. Chinese, Japanese, for example, also already translated. So TOGAF has a lot of traction, but people will say, well, what is TOGAF? And I'll get to that in a moment. But a little bit more about myself. I worked for a lot of CIOs and CTOs in the last 20 years in terms of helping transform businesses. And so it's always about transforming the business. So I've been lucky because the enterprise architecture and TOGAF, which we'll again be speaking more about, are about helping the business transform by better understanding the business. So I have a lot of practical experience working for the private sector and for governments and nonprofits. So I feel like I am in a good position to understand businesses, and I train businesses all over the world in basically how to better envision change and then link the business and technology aspects of an organization to get better informed decisions faster. So the type of training that I've been doing for IBM, Oracle, Microsoft, Cisco, for the Federal Reserve System, for Harley-Davidson, for American Express, and a lot of utilities companies, numerous healthcare companies, and again, globally, we've taught also the Dubai government, for example. So we're very active all over the world, and the interest is in all verticals. So a company like EA Principles needs to be able to teach EA and TOGAF, the Open Group Architecture Framework, needs to be able to teach it for different verticals, like healthcare, financial are two main ones, governments also big, and IT are also big. But because it is a generic body of knowledge, it's useful to help people who are business analysts as well as people who are CIOs or IT architects, solution architects, application architects, business architects, technical or infrastructure architects, engineers, systems engineers, solutions engineers, developers. All these people have taken courses from us and are taking courses around the world. In TOGAF, there are nearly 30,000 people who are now certified in TOGAF. So our experience is focused on helping people pass the test that are associated for the certification, but more than that, it's how to think like an architect, and that's what really differentiates our training. It's a lot of practical examples tied to numerous industries and types of problems, be it cloud computing or mobility or service orientation, gamification, social media. We work on all the big topics for all the big organizations. For example, I've been training General Electric and HP and Oracle recently. As I mentioned, some of the other companies. And so a lot of very large organizations are looking at how to introduce enterprise architecture via the framework, TOGAF, the Open Group Architecture Framework. So it's got the most traction because it's free. The training's not expensive. It's intense training, but it's very manageable. It's a lot of learning, so it's a really value for the investment of time and money. We've had great success in terms of feedback overall around the world, no matter which kind of group we're teaching. And again, a lot of the people might have 3 years of experience. They might have 30 years of experience. So we have very diverse groups. The material is packaged so that we teach it in multiple passes so that people get used to the vocabulary and the concepts, and then they apply it to case studies. And we're rolling out advanced TOGAF training that includes extensive modeling once you're certified in TOGAF, you have the opportunity to take our advanced classes as well. And in a companion area that helps explain TOGAF is a modeling language called Archimate, and that's another certification we do. And some people start with Archimate, but most people start with TOGAF and then do Archimate. Our overall goal is to help people through frameworks, essentially through protocols, to benchmark and find the best practices to accelerate their maturity and for helping the business, for understanding the business and helping it change in a more efficient way, a more innovative way. And that's really the sweet spot of enterprise architecture. And again, TOGAF being the leading framework for the bringing a process of change, for envisioning change, defining what new capabilities are needed, road mapping the new work packages to achieve the change, and helping to govern the implementation. So full life cycle, lots of information about the stakeholders and their concerns and how to model their concerns so that you can better communicate the changes that are going to be required in people, process, technology. So it's an exciting area. That's why I've been doing it so many years, but we do it in conjunction with also consulting and coaching and mentoring, because people often want help to actually then integrate EA into their organizations. So that is a challenging thing, but people are excited to learn how to think like enterprise architects from our training, to get professional recognition, and then many times to go ahead and figure out how to integrate this thinking into their innovation programs and perhaps their efficiency and quality programs as well. It takes a close relationship between enterprise architecture via TOGAF to the program management office, project management office, to ITIL, train people. But it's something that we do all the time, we address all the time. And so we welcome people to take the classes in order to really better understand business and how to better transform business in a enterprise-wide fashion.